Hello. Hey, sis. How are you? Hello, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to you all. What an awesome day that we are so grateful to be alive. This Mother's Day is very unconventional, but guess what? We are happy that at least if some of us that are on lockdown, we are on lockdown with our family members, we're on lockdown with our kids. So that's a great thing. So today we are on day 6 of the Quarantine to CEO challenge. Oh my God, we made it. So our featured speaker today, she was here as well yesterday, is Pastor Uchenna Lewis. And we have covered a lot for the past 5 days. So today is the 6th day and the final day. And I'm going to be inviting her and some other speakers, amazing speakers that was here during the past 5 days to join us as well. I don't think everybody can join us, but many of them can join us. So if you don't know me, my name is NK Nwanne, and I'm an assisted living business coach, and I'm an inspirational speaker, motivational speaker. And we kind of help you set up your assisted living, and we help you set up your business. We help you pull out your passion out of you and turn it into a business, turn it into an income booster. And this is something that we've been talking about for the past 3 days. 5 days. So today is the 6th day. So what we are really going to talk about today is how do you, after you have done everything, we've talked about for the past couple of days, and how do you really maintain your customer? How do you keep them engaged? How do you serve them very well to the point that you have enough to actually turn this into a full-time business, into a full-time income? Instead of just an income booster, it becomes like your full-time income. So today we're going to be talking about providing amazing experience for your customers. That's one of the ways for you to actually turn this. And we're going to be talking about building sustainable cash flow with that income that you have conceived, with that income idea, the business idea that you can conceived for the past couple of days. How do you actually make it a sustainable income? So I will be inviting our featured speaker today, Pastor Uchenna Lewis. Hey, sis. How are you?
I'm excellent. Happy Mother's Day.
Did you unmute yourself? Okay, awesome.
I did. Can you hear me now?
Why can't I hear you?
Hold on. Let me turn my volume a little higher. Is it any better?
Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me? Not yet.
Oh, my computer. My computer is actually connected to the house speaker. I don't know how they did that. Let me see if I can turn it off.
Okay.
How did it connect to that? But you can go ahead. I think everybody can hear you. So how are you today? Happy Mother's Day to you.
Excellent. Happy Mother's Day to you. I'm not sure if you're able to see the comments so people can confirm if they can hear me and it's not just your system.
Okay, let me try that. Can everyone hear? Okay, sure. If you can hear Pastor Lewis, I want you to say yes or something like that, but I can hear you. I can hear you from the from my house speaker. So okay, I'm trying to disconnect it, like from the house Bluetooth.
All right, excellent.
I'm gonna try and disconnect that. I don't even know how that got in there. Yeah, but you can go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, it's great to be with everyone. Again, to all our moms today, a very, very happy Mother's Day. To you, Jane, to you as well, a very happy Mother's Day. All of our speakers that we've had the entire week, and everyone in the audience. Like you said, it's a very unconventional Mother's Day, but we're thankful to have the opportunity to still celebrate. And it might be different, but you know what, sometimes unconventional things yield really, really amazing results. So we're thankful for that. And as we round up on today, I just wanted to share a few things. You talk about how can we really take great care of those customers that we've acquired as we start off our business, those who've shown interest in what it is that we have to offer, those who have come alongside with you and they've bought into your vision, they've bought into your passion, they've bought into your dreams. One of the things we want to do is, as we continue to talk about maintaining these clients, I wanted to share with you 4 things that will be very important for you to keep in mind with your customers as you move forward. Okay, so if you're taking notes, this will be great for you to be able to use and kind of merge into your business. And this works really well with marketing as well. Okay, so think about 4 things. Content, or being able to inspire your customers with educating them about what you do, is really important. So the important thing about what you do, because what happens is, and it's an educated consumer, an educated client is the best client you could have. If they're educated, they'll come back again and again and again. So 4 things we can do is to make sure we keep them inspired, right? Inspire your customers, inspire them. Most times you have a customer that comes in because they come in for a particular thing. But the truth of it is that if we take the time to dig deep into our business, we find out that there are many areas of our business that our customers may not even know of, right? There are areas of our business that sometimes, and it's really important, even as a business owner, you might start maybe the assisted living, say, for example, with you, Jane, as an assisted living coach, and you run assisted living facilities, right? Most times someone might think of the fact that the only thing you do is to bring those who need the service into the home, and that's it. But the truth is, as a business owner, if you really look at that, there's so many things you can add on to that, or so many facets of that. So one of the things you've been able to do since you started it is you started doing conferences, because that gives you a chance to educate more, to equip more people to actually branch out on their own. So that's, in fact, a part of your business. It's just a different side of your business, right?
Yes.
Some people, you might add other things onto that. So as you inspire them, you want to think about promoting. And sometimes you think, why will I still keep promoting to my customers? Because they know what they came in to get. But that's why you need to take pause and think, what other aspects of your business might they not know about? I'll give you, an example. We've been talking all week about really being able to turn our passion into income boosters. One of my passions, you already know, as an image consultant, the truth is I do all things image. I'm really gifted with doing hair. So I've done that for a very, very long time. I came to the point where I was like, I don't know that it's worth it for me to sit and do that. I want to get more at a particular time. So at a particular time, I stopped doing that. But recently, last year, I got the impression in my spirit that that's a gift that I have, and I can't just stop because I feel like it's not lucrative enough. And so I began to dig deep and think to myself, what else can I do with that? And so I was inspired to explore a particular avenue when it came to that, where I'm not putting in as much time as I did in my college years doing micro braids, right? I do only crochet, which takes me just a short amount of time and is very lucrative. I began to think of some other things to add on to that. As someone who's into hair extensions is huge. So you can add on to that. You can add on to hair products that your customers may need, may use. So maybe I start off and I think my gift is just, I can adorn the hair and it looks great. But what does it take to take care of the hair between when the customer comes to me and when they return? Right.
Sure.
And once you've added those things on, that's why promoting continues to be important. So even with your existing clients, because you keep their attention when you're able to continue to promote, when you're able to continue to show them other facets of what you have to offer, other facets of your business. That's really, really, really important, right? So inspiring is important. Inspire them not only with regards to the services, but generally people want to feel inspired.
Right.
You don't have to be a preacher to inspire, right?
Yeah.
Just a word of encouragement. Like when I received the graphic you sent, Jane, today for Mother's Day, I absolutely loved that. I thought that was so very inspiring. And if you don't mind, I just wanted to share it with our audience as well, because you know what? It's just those little things that matter. So
Right.
even with our customers, to keep them engaged, inspiring them continually is important. And the message you sent, Jane, it said this. It was a happy Mother's Day message. You said motherhood is unselfishness. When you become a mother, you're no longer the center of your own universe. You relinquish that position to your children, right? And that's a quote by Jessica Lange. And that's really just so beautiful. So imagine your customers receiving that. Yes, maybe they didn't come into your store, or maybe they weren't online to make a purchase, but the fact that you care enough to continue to inspire them, both when they're in your presence and when they're not, that's really a key way to continue to keep your customers, right before you, and
Right.
keep their attention as customers. So inspire them, continue to promote, make sure they know every facet of what you have to offer, and then engage them. And this is something Jane does so beautifully, right? And I talked about yesterday being intentional, for example, with your marketing when you're online, that's an intentional moment. Just don't, and I get it. Sometimes some of us use social media to kind of unwind, right?
Oh, yes.
Right. And that's fine. But when you post, always think to yourself, and like I said before, this is your money maker, right? So engage your audience and everything about your product or your service over time. But you have to ask some questions, right? Because sometimes you can post something about your product or service and never get feedback. But when you post a question like, what different have you been doing since this pandemic? How are you keeping your kids occupied during this pandemic? Things of that nature. When you engage your customers, you engage your clients, you engage your base with asking questions, that's relevant to what's going on. Just like you said again, being just sincere, right? But engaging them. And I think you shared this, and Dr. Hannah also shared it. Getting feedback from your customers is a way of engaging them.
Right.
What do you think about the service or this product that we provided? What could we have done better? All of that is a form of engagement.
Sure.
Oh, you were at this event last year, and it could have been maybe months after that. What did you like most about being there? If we did it again, would you come? What would you want us to do different? Again, engagement. So that's very important, keeping them engaged. And asking those questions is important to keeping them engaged. You remember, communication is a two-way street.
Yep.
If you're always talking, but you're not hearing from them, that's not a good thing. So
Right.
always think engaging your clients, engaging your customers, engaging your base is very, very crucial, right?
Right.
And lastly, educate. And I said it when I started, that an educated consumer is the best type of consumer to have. And when you're able to educate them, you inform them, you put them onto the benefit of what they get from using your products, your service, what helps you stand out from the others that offer the same things that you offer. What do they get from utilizing what it is that you're offering? Keep them educated. Why? This helps build your authority as well as the expert. This helps build your authority with your brand, the fact that you're able to educate them. And when you build your authority with your market, you build your authority with your customers, you build your authority with your clients, guess what? They trust you more. They trust you more. They know it's not just about selling what you have, but the fact that you're actually, what you're talking about. So that makes you an authority to them. So that is really, really important. So those things, inspiring your market, promoting continually with your market, not just what they've already gotten, but showing them other facets of what you have to offer, educating them, and making sure you engage them in the process is also very key. So those are some of the things I want to share with how to keep our customers coming, because if you just let them, purchase or get that one thing and leave out, and you're expecting them to just come on back, that's not enough. Right? Don't expect them to, what are you doing because what you're offering, many other people are. So what's the difference between you and them? And that's why, again, staying visible is important so that they remember, but
Right.
not just the visibility. What do they get when you're visible? As you stay visible, do they get inspired? Are they engaged, with you as you maintain visibility? Are they being educated through you? Right? And are they being informed properly? And are they learning about the other things that you have to offer? I've said before, for someone like myself who, I have a broad base of things I do. Yes, I'm an image consultant. Yes, I'm a minister of the gospel, but I'm also a financial literacy advocate. I'm a wellness advocate. There are different sides to what I do. So as I stay visible with my clients, guess what? A lot of things I offer, they need. But if I'm not promoting those other things, they don't know that. Unless I say to you for a while, even I remember a couple of people saying to me, "Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that part of what you did with Brandon was that you also help do logos and things like that." And I do that.
Right.
I
Right.
have to be intentional about promoting because I'm not just one faceted.
Right.
So even if someone comes and they get their like their personal branding done, I have to be able to promote, hey, for your business we can also help you look at your logo work and so on and so forth to make sure we can give you everything that you need. Again, all of that is important. Inspire, promote, educate, and engage your market.
And,
So I hope that helps.
yes, that was amazing because one of the things that I actually hear a lot from my customers, I mean from my students that take my classes or people that wants to start their own assisted living is how do we get clients, right? How do we get clients? So that's always one of the questions. So which is the reason why I'm really happy that we are talking about this, because since we started this thing 6 days ago, I know many people that wants to start their own business. One of the things that pull them back or hold them back is how do I even sell this idea? Or because they never think about that idea as something that is feasible or something that is actually going to make money because they don't know how to put it out there.
True.
So having an idea is one thing. It's just like about writing a book. You have this great information in your head and you're thinking, oh, nobody is going to need this information. All you needed was to put it out there and then have a really, really strategic plan on how to put it out there. And after you put it out there, then having a way to engage these customers and, keep these people that have trusted you and are consuming your information and consuming your product, how to actually make sure that they're happy. And just like we talked about yesterday, getting feedback from them and then making them happy, keeping them happy.
Absolutely. And it's interesting you said that because I want us to think of this because yesterday when we talked about marketing, right? And this still all kind of ties into that.
Yes.
Just think of your customer base and I heard there's a young lady called Jax. I heard this from her, and that kind of caused a light bulb. She's in one of the businesses that I'm a part of, and she said you always want to think of your audience and your customer base as your children, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a child, how many times a day do you feed them?
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, that's
At least 3 times a day.
right.
At the minimum. And and then some kids have to snack in between, right?
Right.
It's kind of the same thing. When we think of our market, our customer base, think of it like that. So a great way to start is if you're starting, for those of you who are just starting to maybe engage social media, for those of you who have maybe started to, maybe you have your website up and running, or you have YouTube or other platforms that you're using to kind of gather together customers or customer base. And Instagram, I said that yesterday, especially for those of you who are service based, Instagram is huge because again, it's very visual. You have those photos, you can get them in. So think of being able to feed your base 3 times a day.
Yep.
Or more,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because remember, in between, snacking in between is actually healthy.
Right. Yeah.
In between, giving them a little bit of this, bit of that. So when you think of that, you think of it, you gotta feed them. If you don't feed them, they're gonna die.
Wow.
If you don't feed, and I know that. I'll give you an example, Jane, because real life happens, right?
Sure.
When I had Legacy, You know, with my pregnancy with her, I was very ill throughout the pregnancy. So literally, I was off the map. I really couldn't do anything. Business was the last thing on my mind, you know? So there wasn't anywhere. And because for most of my businesses, I was a one-man show for a long time. So there wasn't a lot of continuity with that. So
Wow.
what happened is between the period of me being pregnant and coming back, it was almost like I lost my base, right?
Sure.
So if you don't feed them, they'll die. Okay. And some of us have already been there, done that. We've experienced that. But what's done is done. What we want to think of is, what do we do moving forward in the future? How do you take care of your base? How do you take care of your clientele? How do you take care of your customers moving forward? Feed
Right.
them continually. And that's why having an idea of how to feed them or what to feed them is, for example, with food, we have our proteins, we have our carbs, we have, you know, our greens, our veggies, so on. And that's why I classified what you can feed
Yeah.
yes, you can feed them inspiration, you
Right.
can feed them education, feed them promotion, feed them engagement. These are different ways of serving their palate with those
Right.
different things. Because sometimes when we think of how do you engage them, people get, I don't know what to say. I don't want to post. I don't always want to. And you don't always want to post promoted, right?
Right.
If you're product based and every time people come, all they see you is posting your product, very soon they'll be glancing over it.
Right. Because they don't want to see it anymore.
Will you want to eat, listen, will you want to eat rice, breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
No.
Who wants, nobody? I don't care what you like, no matter how you like it. You don't want to eat it every single meal, right? And so that's why it's important to vary the content that you're feeding your market, vary the content that you're feeding your customers, vary what you're feeding them with. Okay. So think of it as feeding them. Feed them at least 3 times a day. There are different ways we could do that. Some people use scheduled, and I know, Jane, sometimes you do that where you schedule your content that you're
Yeah.
going to post,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It helps. Or even if you can't do that, just keep it in mind. Okay, these are my, say to yourself, have I fed my customer base today?
There you are.
Have I fed them one time? And there are days when I may not be able to do 3 times,
Sure.
but I'm very intentional now, and I understand I need to keep feeding them for them to grow. The more I feed them, the more they can grow, right? The more I inspire, but don't inspire only, educate. Don't educate only. Now promote. Promoting is very important. So
Right.
at least once a day or once every other day, promote something, promote a different facet of your business. Now engage them. Don't
Right.
talk at them, talk with them, talk to them. You've said so much. When was the last time you asked them a question? When was the last time you got feedback, right? So
Yeah.
just again, our mindset as business people is critical. When we understand the reason why we do what we do, then
Yeah.
it's easier to do it,
To do it. That
right?
that
So
is yeah.
that's the key.
Yeah, that is amazing. How you kind of laid it out. Because even though I kind of understand what I was doing, but like laying it out that way makes it really, really, really easy to follow. Just
Exactly.
seeing them as children and knowing that you have to continue, because it's not easy to actually run a business or even a side hustle or income or anything. It's not easy.
Mhm. Especially as women and with a family, with children. We have other things, you know?
Yeah, but when you come from the angle of inspiration, most of them, they already actually know your product, right? Maybe
Exactly.
they're not ready to buy it yet or whatever, but because you're always there, they remember
Yes.
whenever they need what you have to offer, or they know somebody that needs what you are offering, they know who to say, oh, you need to talk to
Exactly.
this person, you need to talk to this person. So that's one thing. So do not ever think that, oh, whatever income booster that you conceive, that is not something that you can actually make anything out of. Because if you follow the steps that we have given you for the past couple of days, which is you preparing yourself for this journey, right? After
Yes.
you prepared your mind for this journey, then you actually finding out what is it that I'm passionate about, that I flow with, something that I can be up doing and I forget that I haven't had any breakfast, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you find what that is, then you validate that. Validate if this is actually really something that I love to do. Will somebody actually pay me for this? And these are the things that we talked about. So if somebody can actually pay you for this, and these are the things that maybe you are already doing for people for free, right?
Yes.
Helping people like before I even became an assisted living coach, I was helping people set up their assisted living for free.
Right.
Okay, so I was going to people's house, helping them set up for free. And then I'm like, you know what? I enjoy seeing people's home set up. I enjoy doing this. I can actually charge for this, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so just like you said, I validated that idea. I validated this idea as something that can boost my income into the business. One thing that people need to remember is that whether you are even own a business already, sometimes you might need to boost that income.
That's true.
You have a job, you might need to boost that
You
income.
gotta boost it.
Boost it, so when you validate this, then you find out, how do I sell this, right? You find out, how do I sell? Where do I sell? These are the things that we've talked about over the couple of days. And eventually, how do you market it, right? And then how do you maintain your customers is one thing what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
And then I also wanted to talk to us about how do we make this a really, really full-time source of income? And that comes to what you just said, having different aspects of this business, right?
Absolutely.
When you package it well together, just like you said, you started with the hair, and then you started, just doing micro braid, then you started doing crochet, then you started maintaining. So everything boils down to image, right?
Absolutely.
How you can package it together. And listen, guys, if you are on here and you are just joining us, this is day 6 of our Quarantine to CEO challenge that we decided to do. And I don't know if you started this with us from day 1 and you already conceived an idea and you're working towards it. If you can share with us, we'll appreciate it. But this is day 6, and we are really today talking about how to package your idea that you conceived and actually turn it into a full-time income. Because that is when the freedom comes, right?
Absolutely.
That is when the freedom comes. And how do you do that? You cannot do that just by doing one thing, right? You have to find a way to package it. Like for myself, okay, now I do not only run assisted living business. I coach people how to run assisted living business. I do not only coach people how to run assisted living business. I teach people online how to run assisted living business, just in case if you are not able to, for me to coach you one-on-one, right? I do not only coach people one-on-one or teach you online. I have a book about how to run assisted living business. And I have another book on how to create a business plan coming up in the next couple of days. I mean, these are just a way, like you said, to package this whole thing. And guess what? One idea that you conceived for these past 5 days has turned into a
multiple
income. And let me tell you the great thing about this. This is our Mother's Day special edition. This thing you are building, it is not for you. You need to look beyond just sustaining you at this moment. And that is why we are going to be talking about how to take this forward and build a legacy. How to build a legacy as a mother, right? How to build a legacy with this idea as a mother. So I really, really thank you, Pastor Uche, for coming. That was like really, really, even though I'm here every day hosting this event, I'm learning as well.
It's awesome.
That's one thing that I want to let people know. Do not wait until you have everything all squared out perfect before you go out there and be who you are destined to be.
Exactly.
Go out there and learn as you go. If you were here on day 1 when we hosted this, we didn't even know how to host this. We just started anyway. As time goes on, we started, adding all the fanciness and doing all this nice, cute stuff, and we're doing right now. On day 1, we were trying to show a PowerPoint, and it was half of the screen and all that kind of craziness. But you know what? That's what life is all about.
Pushed on, right?
Push through, and you learn as you go. Okay.
Right.
One of the things that I've continued to say while on this platform is, do not wait to be perfect. And you need that income boost.
Absolutely.
I am in the assisted living industry. I have seen people, they have worked 30 years of their life. They do not have anything to show for it.
That's true.
I've seen people with 9 children. The children does not come around because they have not been set up well. It does not matter how little your income booster is. Even if all you did with that money is to channel it into a retirement account that yields you money every month, you're going to look back 30 years down the line and you're going to have maybe $500,000 in that account, and you're going to think just $500 a month is doing this for me.
Absolutely.
That is why it's so important to do this, and that is why I'm presenting this workshop, because it's something that we need as a mother. Because you don't want a situation whereby you get to the point whereby you can be up and running like you do right now, and then you didn't set up your children to be a support, right? Because now they don't even have what they need to really fully support their own. How do they come back to support you? So that is the essence of this, to boost that income. I know you might have everything you need right now, but do you have the strength? Are you going to continue to
carry on like this?
Carry on like this. And that's the essence of that. And then, of course, I'm not going to say, oh, keep on working and working. The easiest way to do it is just to find something that you can do as a business.
Absolutely.
Pastor Uche, we talked about for the past couple of days, and you mentioned it yesterday. You really need to have at least 4 streams of income. And we mentioned at least one is essential, one is non-essential, one is online, one is offline. Right. And it's something that I've been trying to do, even with this quarantine period, to build it that way, so that I have that 4 streams of income. And then I'm teaching my children to maintain those streams, right? I'm teaching them to maintain these streams of income, because it's gonna get to a point whereby I really need them to keep on.
That's it. You might not be able to carry on.
And then they can pass it on to their children. That is how you build generational wealth and build a legacy. And when you get to the point whereby you need an assisted living from us, oh no, maybe not from us, maybe you need an assisted living, then you are ready. You have everything you need put in place.
That's right.
So I really appreciate you for coming today.
Can I say one thing, Jane?
Yes.
And I just wanted to point this out, because again, thank you for doing this, and I'm speaking to our sisters out there. You have your good government job. Amazing. Thank God for you. Or you have that job you've worked right now for years, and you feel like it's taking good care of you. That is wonderful. Just want to share with us. I know one of the things I do is I mentioned to you, I'm a financial literacy advocate, right? And 1945, when the idea of Social Security was put in place, do you know that 40 people used to contribute to the retirement fund or the pension plan or Social Security income to come for each retiree? Back in 1945, it was 40 people. Do you know that right now it is said that by the year 2037, we'll only have 3 people contributing to each account? Only 3. So think about that. A lot of us that are thinking we're going to have so much set up for us when we retire, you're not going to have that. No. Do you realize that right now it's said that I think it's $1,154 is what you're going to be looking at for Social Security income at retirement? What are you going to do with $1,154? For most of us, it's not even enough to pay the mortgage or the rent. Right? Thank you. You're not talking of the medication by the time you're older and things like that. So I just say all of that to say there is so many reasons why right now, when you're talking about an income boost, it may not be for you right now. No. It may not be the fact that you need that additional income right now. But the one thing we've learned from our counterparts, especially our Caucasian counterparts, most of them that get a boost in their income, whether through a part-time job or a business, it's always to save for the future. The future. Always to save, because they have their retirement in mind. And that's why you can see one of them who makes maybe $50,000. Right. And the person in our community who makes $100,000 struggles more than them. Exactly. And you're wondering why. It's because they've learned how to plan and save for the future. They're not working 4, 5, 3 jobs, right? They've learned to boost the income and use that stream, not for today. The Bible says, and I'll leave with this, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Right. And I want us, when we think of a boost, not just to think, the truth is for many of us, we need it now, even for our families now. That's the truth, right? because we haven't learned how to really balance life and make money work for us. So for you listening, you might say, I'm not even just thinking of my children's children yet. Even now, I can't afford to pay my bills. And that's fine, right? So we take care of starting now. But if you don't get that boost, you can't even take care of now and begin to think of the future. You need to find that boost. And the great thing is go back, listen to all we've shared that, because once you found that boost and you're able to diversify, then it becomes not only for now, but you're going to be one of the people that's able to leave an inheritance for your children's children and will be in alignment with God's word and his desire for us. Listen, I thank you. I love you. I'm going to shut up and get out. They say don't get a preacher. Don't give them a chance to speak, because I'm telling you, but that's it. I'm done. Sis, thank you for the opportunity to share with the audience today. I truly am appreciative.
Thank you, Pastor Uchenna Lewis. I mean, isn't that amazing? If you think that was great information, I need you to say yes. I need you to give us some hearts, kind of give us some likes and thumbs up and stuff like that. And if you have not shared this video, I need you to share it right now. Start a watch party with your friends. This information is very vital. It's very, very important at this moment, especially on this Mother's Day. You need to share this. You need to give us a like. And if you think this was great information, I need you to be able to say yes or something like that. So that was really amazing. So we just, if you're just joining us, this is Quarantined to CEO challenge. It was a 6 days challenge that we started, and we are ending today. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how I have grown to be consistent. Are you kidding me? I am really, really proud of myself. Anyway, let me just stop bragging for now. But what I was trying to say is that this is our 6th day. And if you do not have your workbook, I need you to go to Quarantine to CEO and get your workbook, okay? We are talking about how to turn your talent, your passion, your everyday hobby into an income boost. You might not need that income boost today, but I guarantee you, talking from an assisted living provider, seeing so many seniors come through the door, old and broke, you're going to need it. Even if it's just $300 a month that you're putting towards your retirement, you are going to need it. I'm going to guarantee you. I don't care if you're making $10,000 today, or else you already have a retirement set up. If you do not have a retirement set up, you're going to look back today and be grateful that you did something that your whole generation is going to thank you for. Because I kind of live a very laid back life right now. I've had so much experience about so many different things, but one thing that I actually one situation that I never wanted to be in is to be really old, be really broke, and I can't see my children. Oh my God, that is the worst situation you ever want to be. And this is something that I see every day. So I really want to thank you all for continuing to join us. So, but today, let's just close out with this. Let's close this whole session with this. I'm going to be inviting some of the speakers to join us as well. So how do you, if you were with us for like the past couple of days, right? And you have really conceived this idea, how do you build a sustainable cash flow? Because Pastor Lewis just talked to us about how to maintain your customer base, right? When you already set up the business, how do you maintain your customer base? So she talked about it. So if you really want, you're going to get a replay of this to look into all the couple of days and all the speakers that we have had. So how do you build a sustainable cash flow with this? So I'm going to say a quote by Seth Godin. The only thing worse than starting something and failing is not starting something. Okay, so because you have started this, continuing to nurse it, continuing to improve is the way to build sustainable cash flow. Okay, so how do you do that? If you do not have your workbook, I need you to go to Quarantine to CEO and get it, or you can just forget it and get it later. Okay, so how do you do that? So the final step to this is for you to package it. She talked a little bit about this. Pastor Lewis talked a little bit about this. Package it. One important thing I want to tell you is do not quit your job yet. Okay? Do not quit your job yet. If you are working or you have another kind of business, please do not quit your job yet. At least you want your income booster to generate at least 75% of your income before you decide you're going to quit your job. Okay? You have to make sure that whatever income booster you've conceived, continue working on it, right? Continue nurturing it. Continue improving on it. Continue maintaining your customers. Continue validating other ideas, and make sure that it's bringing you at least 75% of your income. Okay. This will give you the flexibility to decide whether it is time for you to quit your day job or not, whether it's time for you to leave what you're doing right now or not. But if you still like your job and you still want to keep your job, maybe you do not really need to actually make this a full-time income. That is okay. Okay, so when you are thinking about your income, remember to take into account all your expenses. Okay, you will have to pay some taxes or something like that, or pay someone to help you. I want you to consider these things before you decide, okay, I want this to be a sustainable income, my only source of income, or things like that. But one important thing that you need to know is when it comes to quitting your day job, there might be fear. Okay, you might be afraid, I'm not sure yet, or whatever. And that is the reason why you have to all validate all sorts of income. Make sure that it's bringing you at least 75% before you decide to quit. And do not allow fear to stop you. Do not allow fear. Just continue to follow your dream. Fear is one of the biggest killer of dreams. And I am a witness. Everything I'm doing right now, sometimes I'm still afraid, but sometimes I just go out there and just do my thing, because I am my only competition. Okay. If you have gotten an income booster and you have gotten it to the point whereby it's generating you 75% of income, I'm telling you, you have done a good job, and you can actually turn that income booster into a full-time job. Okay. So that is how you determine. You have to make sure that at least it's bringing you at least 75% of your income. So now, what do you do after you have done all this? What is next? What is next? So we've talked about, for the past couple of days, right? We've talked about preparing yourself. We've talked about identifying your passion. We've also talked about validating your income booster. We've talked about defining your goals. We talked about creating milestones, which was covered by Ms. Denise Cadet. We talked about starting an actual process of selling. We talked about determining how to sell. We talked about marketing yourself effectively. We've talked about getting feedback from your customers. And we talked about today earlier about providing amazing customer experience to your customers, because that is how you maintain that income. And now we are talking about building a sustainable cash flow from that income up to 75% before you decide, I'm going to make this a full-time income. So we have really covered a lot today, and I have uploaded a workbook that has worksheets from the day one up to the last day. Okay. So now you know how you can start making money from home, how you can turn that passion into an income booster. The only question will be, what is actually stopping you? What is actually stopping you? And this is the time that I'm going to bring in, I don't know if Christine is here. If Christine is here, please give me a thumbs up. I can see her here. I can see her camera, but she's not here. What is stopping you? There's always something that is stopping you. And Miss Christine, she is the one. She is like a really business guru. So she is really good at it. Or if she's not here, I can invite Denise Cadet. Are you ready to go? Okay, so I'm gonna invite one of our speakers. She already spoke on creating milestones. So what is stopping you? One of the things I know that definitely is gonna stop you is not knowing how to create an effective milestone. And this is something that we already covered, but today is Mother's Day special edition, and I'm going to bring in Ms. Denise Cadet just briefly to talk to us about one of the things that is stopping you. Or if you have any question, or if you think that there is something that is stopping you and you want to post that question for the speakers to answer, I want you to post it on the chat line, and I will get one of the speakers who is ready to answer that for you. So what is stopping you? That is the question. What is stopping you from actually turning that passion into an income boost? And I'm going to invite Miss Denise. Here she goes. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? Awesome.
How's everything going?
Nice. I thank you for joining us on this special edition today. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you for having this. I just, I'm in the West Coast, so we just finished church, and I said, well, I have to catch the last drive of this, so that's why I'm like, "Whoo, I can go on. Come on, let me put something on."
You look
Thank
fun.
you for doing this.
Okay, so
So
what?
the question was what is stopping me? I'm telling you what I saw earlier when you were talking about retirement. It is something that is really, really deep to my heart. Actually, I want to say what scares me is having seen all these patients that, like you say, older and not having the financial thing to support them. So, what sometimes can stop me is the fear of, can I really do this? Can I really make my vision come true? Can I really sustain myself when you see how hard you work right now and you're not able to make the income you need to make just to survive right now? You're like, but I don't have the energy to go on to do something else. But what can help us when those things want to stop us is to look at other avenues. How can I already use things that I already have and redirect my resources?
Wow.
Sometimes that's all you can start with. Don't create a whole other avenue, but use the resources you have right now. The
Okay.
times that you watch TV, can
Mm.
you cut it in half? Because I just want to relax. Not right now. You can relax later, but take that 1 hour of Netflix and use it for something else. Make some calls, connect with somebody that can guide you. So sometimes the fear that you have, you can turn it to your motivation, but by getting some support.
Awesome. So that was good. Any of the speakers want to talk about what could be stopping someone, or does any of the participants or anyone on here has a question? Um, let me see. All right, thank you so much, Denise, for coming on and answering that question. I'm
Thank
going to try and
you.
add Miss Christine. It was
And happy Mother's Day, my beautiful girl.
thank thank you so much. It was really amazing. Thank you for coming on and answering that. So let me see if Miss Christine is here, and I will see you next time.
Bye.
Okay. Oh, Miss Christine, your video is not on. Um. Okay, so this was one of the things that Miss Denise Cadet says. Use what you have right now to redirect your resources. Yes, so that's one of the things that you can do to make sure that nothing is stopping you. Miss Christine, if you can hear me, I cannot see you. All right. So what is stopping you? What is stopping you? Do you think anything is going to stop you? Do you think that some of us need an accountability partner? Right? Some of us some of us need an accountability partner. Do you think maybe having an accountability partner can help Pastor Uche? Okay, all right. So Miss Christine is here. I'm gonna add her on. So what is stopping you? One of the things that can stop people from actually pushing on? Miss Christine, how are you?
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day. You are looking awesome today.
Thanks. You are too.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. So the last question I wanted to ask people is what is stopping you from actually proceeding? Can you think of anything that could be a stumbling block that you can help people to navigate through to actually proceed? Yeah.
Yes. So while I've been listening to this conversation, and even in the last 6 days, one of the things that I can say for most people, or for some of us, I know I've been there several times, is what is termed as analysis paralysis. It literally is overanalyzing things.
Yeah.
And I tend to be a researcher, so I really do a lot of research. I love researching things, and that can actually sometimes hinder you, because analysis paralysis means that instead of you taking what you already have, the information you already have, you're doing so much research and not making the first step. So make the first step as you continue to do your research. Obviously, we have to do our due diligence. That's fine, and that's wise to do that. But if you tend to overanalyze things, you'll find yourself never getting started.
Right.
So that's one thing I would say. Start somewhere and then continue doing your research. And then the other thing I would say is the other things that stops people is not having what they think is the funds that they need, which
Right.
that is ironic because this will create the extra income that you're lacking. So one of the things to do is to stop competing with the Joneses. Stop trying to please your family and your neighbors. You don't have to live like anybody else. You got to live below your means when you want to get where you want to get. Okay? Because that is what will help you save for the money that you need to start launching something. Okay? Cut back. See what you can cut back on. Believe me, that Netflix, that cable is not a necessity. Okay? A necessity is a roof over your head, food on the table, maybe a vehicle to get back and forth to where you need to go. Those are necessities. Cable, cut that cable bill during this period. You can get it back later. I'm not saying don't enjoy things in life. I'm just saying there's some sacrifices you have to make if your will to succeed is really strong. So you have to determine if your willpower, you can lift it up, build, know why you're doing what you're doing. Because if where there's a will, there's going to be a way, and you have to create that way for yourself. Sometimes you got to sacrifice some things to get where you want to go. Otherwise you will look back a year from now and say, wow, if I had started a year ago, where would I be? Versus you can start tomorrow, start small, and look back and say, wow, I'm so glad I started a year ago, and now this is where I am today. So analysis paralysis, stop overanalyzing things.
Right.
Jump in.
Jump in.
Learn how to swim while in the water. You cannot learn how to swim while walking on the road. You got to get in that water. You got to get in that water first and learn how to swim in the water.
You know what? I'm really happy you said that. My children, they made me breakfast in bed today.
Yay!
So while I was in bed, my daughter was like, Mommy, can we connect the Netflix back on and something like that? I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna connect that Netflix back on because I've actually achieved a lot by having my Netflix off for like the past 6 months. So the reason why my Netflix was off for the past 6 months, every time I take that remote and try to connect it back on, I said, no, if I do this, I'm not going to get anything done. So it's not just that I cannot pay, I don't even know how much, $12, $14. Just because I decided that each time I start watching all those episodes, I do not.
Yes.
I do not get anything done. Everywhere I am, I'm trying to get back home to finish it. And honestly, because it's like you cannot do anything until you finish the episode. Like sometimes maybe 30 different seasons and episodes, and you're just trying to get to the last one. And it can take you a week or so. For that 1 week, you cannot do anything. So I decided I'm going to cut the Netflix off. So I cut the Netflix off for 6 months. I cut it off. And we were just talking about it today, how to get it back on. So I was laying down on the bed. I'm thinking, is there anything that I need to get done before I cut this Netflix back on? Because as soon as I cut it back on, we're going to have a problem.
There's some good shows on there.
Oh, yes. So like even in my bedroom, I haven't turned the TV on for a while. And I know that's kind of going to extreme, but I know that if I spend 6 hours a day, because that's how bad that those Netflix movies and shows can get you on, like for 6 hours a day. It can do that to you. It was affecting my sleep. It was affecting everything. I was running late for everything. I couldn't get anything done, so I decided I was going to cut it off, and I did. So I'm really glad that you said that. I'm going to consider cutting it on. I'm going to think about that, make sure that I've done everything I'm supposed to do, at least for the moment, before I cut it on, because I know it's going to be a problem to actually not get hooked up on one of the shows on there that is really good. That was really good. And not over analyzing things is one way. And of course, I just like you said, many people think that they need a lot of money. But if this is something that you're already doing at home and helping people with, you can start small, right? You can start small, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was really good. Another thing that I had problem with that I always talk about is when we I think it's one of the things like analyzing things. Maybe like when when we are waiting for things to be perfect, like over like really trying to impress someone with what we are doing, right? And this is something that I think I'm going to bring Pastor Uche to talk about. But I really want to thank you for coming on and talking about that. It's been an amazing 6 days, and I want to wish you happy Mother's Day, and I hope you have a lot of fun, Miss Christine.
Thank you. You all be blessed, and you start somewhere. I actually, one last thing. I actually was in the gas station business before, and I had gotten in with really just doing research, a little research, and I learned the ropes along the way. So that's another area that I'm familiar with. So my point is this: start with what you know and what you have. And
Okay.
some of the things you will learn along the way. Some of the things do not just come to you right away. But if you have something you're already doing, turn it into, you can start right now. If you need to do some research, but then get in there, get your feet wet, and some of the stuff you will just learn more along the way.
Along the
God
way.
bless. Happy Mother's Day to all moms.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was awesome. That was awesome. All right. So what else is stopping you? Anybody have any question? Do we have anything from the comment about what could be stopping anyone? Anything from the comment? Okay, so what could be stopping you? We've talked about money could be stopping you. We've talked about over analyzing things could be stopping you. And we've talked about over watching TV and over focusing on the things that are unnecessary could be stopping you. And if you think that maybe trying, over, being a perfectionist is stopping you, I'm going to bring in Pastor Uwe to talk to you about that because she's familiar with she's an she's an image consultant. With VIP image consulting, and she always on point. She's always on point, so she can talk to you about.
You know what? This is an area, and I just wanted to thank Christine. When she talked about analysis paralysis, I said, I have found myself in that situation so many times where I sit down, try to analyze everything. And, I'm used to having my I's dotted, T's crossed a certain way. And the idea of everything being perfect is one that, as much as it's a good thing, it can be a curse and a blessing at the same time. Yes, you want to operate in the spirit of excellence, but don't allow it become what paralyzes you. I have had so many things that I did try to do, so many things that I set out to do, but because I wanted it to be perfect, I never got to doing it. And this is a quote that I heard, and I'm not sure who it's from, right? And I just want to encourage you by this. Done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. And if you're always waiting for something to be perfect, you may never get done. If you're always waiting for something to be perfect, you will never get done. So done is better than perfect. Go ahead and do it. Yes, operate in the spirit of excellence, but don't just allow yourself to, you have an idea and you've been mulling on it for 5 years because you're trying to perfect it. Who has benefited from that, right? And if we understand that what God has put inside of us to come forth is not just for us. There are lives that are dependent on your obedience to do what you've been called to do. There are many people that will benefit from you being able to take on that booster, to do that business. There are many who are waiting on you, believe it or not. And while you're waiting for it to get perfect, guess what? They never get a chance to take advantage of what you're supposed to have been doing. Can I tell you that you can learn along the way? You can learn even, we have on-the-job learning, right? Most times when you start work, what happens? You get like a 90-day probation. And that's the period wherein you're trained. So why do we feel like in our business we can't go through training while we're trying to figure it out? We talked about vulnerability with your market, right? And there are times it's okay to tell them, you know what? There's some things I'm trying to figure out, but I promise you we're getting this together. I promise you, if you can just rise up and do what you need to do, stop waiting for it to be perfect. Take action today. At the end of the day, what I found out is that the biggest thing that can be a blockage for us is usually us. We stand in our own way. But everything, I promise you, everything you need to get started, you have. Everything you need to get started, you have. When God spoke to Moses and said to him, go deliver my people, right? There was always an excuse that Moses had. Moses said, I'm a stutterer, I can't even speak. God said to him, I will send you help and your brother. I will send you help and Aaron. I have made a way for you. When he got there and he said to him, how am I supposed to perform all of this? God said to him, what is in your hand? And the question to you today is, what is in your hand? What is stopping you? Whatever you have in your hand right now to do, you can start. I promise you today. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you start tomorrow. I dare you to say to yourself, you know what? My gift to myself this year is a Mother's Day that I started on my dream.
Yes.
No matter how small it is, start. Just take action. Don't try to figure it all out. You will find it along the way. You can call for help. You have all of us that have been able to speak to you from different areas, facets of business and life. And I promise you the answer is here. What you need is right here in your hands, but are you going to use it?
Awesome. Oh my God, that was awesome. You see, one thing that I know is that time is not on our side, right? There shouldn't actually be anything stopping you. What you have in your hands, you are ready to go. So it's not analysis paralysis. It's not money, because there are so many different things that if you're not trying to impress your enemy, you can actually do this. Because the people that you try to impress are actually the people that don't like you most of the time. And if you're not trying to be perfect or waiting for everything to be perfect, I was trying to tell Pastor Uche that my book, I was waiting for this book to be perfect, but I just decided to launch it out after I got a feedback from a customer, and I sold 115 books in the space of like 7 days, and I was so surprised, how much people needed what I even have to offer. So you need to just go out there and do it. And I wanted to share with you something very, very important. I am crazy when it comes to talking about retirement and stuff like that. So pardon me, because I'm in the industry, I'm in the assisted living industry, I see this thing every day. Okay. So I'm going to share with you why it's important for you to have an income booster and why it's important for you to put it away. And if you're just joining us, this is Quarantine to CEO Challenge, 6 days challenge, and this is our 6th day. I need you to know that we have really great financial resources to help you save money. This is something that me and Uchenna Lewis and even Denise Cadet can help you with. Most of us here can help you with that financial aspect of saving that money. But I just wanted to show you something. Let me just share this screen with you right here. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Can you guys? Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if he's gonna allow me to. Can you see? Can you see what I'm trying to share with you? It's not clear. Can you see? Okay. So let's assume that you put away $500, right? Let's assume that you put away $500 for 4% every month for 20 years, right? Did you see how much you're going to get by that time? Anybody see it? Can you see? Can you type the amount in? I want you to type how much it is in. Just let's say like you started an income booster, right? And that income booster is getting you only $500 a month. And you don't need that money right now, right? Let's say that you don't need that money right now, and you just decided, okay, I'm gonna close my eyes and just channel it into a retirement account that is yielding me like 4%, and I'm going to channel that money every month. How much do you get in the next 20 years? Can you put it on the chat line? I want you to put it. I want you to type it out. If you can see, I want you to type it out. There you go. There you go. All right. So I don't know how many years you are right now, and just calculate, maybe like add 20 to it. And just think about, who do you know that is that age? And do they have this amount right now? However old you are right now, add 20 years to it. And think about who you know that is this age. Do they have this amount right now sitting somewhere in the savings account? So this is just if you're putting in 500, right? A month. And this is, we're just talking about 4%. Just think about if you're putting in about 1,000 and the account is yielding you 8%. Just think about how that changes things. I'm going to do that and show it to you. 1 second. Hang on with me here. Hang on. Let's put in 1,000. And we're going to put in 8%. No, that's not 1,000. We're going to put in 8%. Oh, no, that's not. Hold on. 100. We're going to put in 1,000. We're going to put in 1,000. All right. So can you guys see? Can you see that? Okay. All right. So if you can see, can you type in how much you see right there? So let's say that you started an income booster, and that income booster is getting you extra $1,000 a month, and you're not using it to go to Macy's and shop. You're not using it to go to New York and Co. Yeah. New York and Co. Okay, so if you are not using it to go to New York and Co, and you are not using it to buy all these brand name bags that carries the same thing with the one I got from whatever store. If you're not like being wasteful and stuff like that. So now we have that 569,000, right? So now take how old you are right now and add this amount this year, 20 years to it, right? Do you know anybody that age that has this amount, like, already stashed out? Can you see how much difference this can make? I want you to give me a thumbs up if you can. Give me a yes or something. This is why this is so important. Do you see what I'm saying, Pastor Lois? I'm gonna bring you on. Right? You see what I'm saying, right?
It's huge. And what you're sharing with, that's part of what we educate people on. We talk about the law of compounding interest, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And do you know someone who starts putting, maybe someone who starts an investment account with $10,000 at the age of 29? If that account is yielding them a 4% interest, when we talk about this law of compounding interest, you divide 74 by 4, by that percentage. Right. It gives you the number of years it takes for that money to double, right? So if they start at 29, by the age of about 47 or so, they'll have about $40,000, right? At the age of about 65, they're looking at about $67 or so thousand. But if you have that monies in a place yielding you about 8%, just like you shared, maybe higher interest. And a lot of people think of savings accounts or CD, but they're portfolios that can yield you so much more. But if you don't put anything in it, you don't get anything from it. And no matter how small, do you know that one who started at 29 with that $10,000, if they're putting it in a portfolio that yields like 7.2% or even close to 10%, most times by the end of the day, they're looking at about $300,000 at the age of 67. It's huge. It is huge. The law of compounding interest, divide 72 by the interest percentage. It tells you how much it'll double. 4%, 8%, the difference is a big deal.
It is a big deal. The reason
finding the right portfolio is important. Thank you for sharing this, because it shows you just even 500, you might say, what's $500? What's 300? What's 200? Put it aside every month for 20 years. Don't touch it. In a good portfolio, see what happens.
See what's happened. Just like Ms. Denise said, like my cable, like if you cut off, like let's say you cut off a cable, and let's say even if you put in $100,
yes,
Even if you put in $100, let's say you have a book on Amazon or an ebook that is yielding you $100. If I go in and plug in $100, you're going to see how much difference these things make. And this is the reason why I do not, this is not what just one of those kind of programs or information out there, turn your passion to profit, no, that's not what this is all about. It's about, because if I'm talking about turn your passion to profit, people do not really see the end result, because it's not about you bringing in money so that you can spend more money on things.
Exactly.
Not for you to go on more movie or buy more pocket books or
wear the name brands, buy red bottoms.
It's for you to channel it towards somewhere that you are not touching it.
Absolutely.
Because if you do not touch it, let's say, if you do not touch it, by that time, that would be something extra that you will have at that time that you shouldn't have had.
Exactly.
Because the study said that many people that hit retirement, they have not saved even up to $125,000 for retirement.
Yeah, that's true.
A huge percentage of people. And that is why we struggle when we get older. So turning your everyday hobby, turning your passion, turning your talent into something that brings you this extra money. Just imagine, like, when it's time for you to hit retirement and you have this amount of money in your account. I don't think you're going to have to ask any of your children to come around.
That's true. And you know what, Jane, and this is really important, because for you in this industry with assisted living, for example, it's said that most people, if you're going to have to obtain long-term care, right? It's costing about almost $84,000 a year in the United States for long-term care.
Average is $3,500.
Exactly, monthly. And think about it, how many people have that? That's a lot of people don't have it, right? And we forget, we kind of feel like, well, when we get there, somehow what will be, no. We need to make plans. We need to make plans. 67 to 70% of most of us will eventually need some type of long-term care.
Yeah.
And if we don't start now to put away money for that, how is that going to work? Are we going to depend on our children who will probably be in college, or even if they're out of college, they'll have to pay back student loans? Are those the ones we're going to be dependent on to take care of you? And you say it all the time. The last thing you want to be is old and broke.
Right.
You know, so think about it, $84,000 a year, or you're paying an average of $3,500 monthly to maintain some similitude of normalcy in a home, but receive the care. Are you going to have that? Social Security is not going to afford you that. So doing what Jane is saying right now, putting away something using your income boost is going to be so necessary. It's not just for now, but we're talking about for later, because most people don't think of it. Most people don't talk about it. And that's what makes Quarantine to CEO so very different, because we're not telling you just for now. We're asking you to think about your future. Think about your children. Think about what type of legacy you're going to leave behind for them. No matter what words you say, it's not a great legacy if they're going to be concerned about you not knowing how to take care of you because you didn't make the appropriate plans.
Yeah.
So the onus is on me, and it is on you. It's on us to really move forward and do differently, live different with what we've received this past 6 days. I believe it's been empowering and powerful, and that we can really be a different sect of people by the time we're done, you know, even with this Mother's Day moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm going to close. I know it's been you know, a lot of things going on. I know you want to go enjoy your kids or whatever, but I just want to let you know that this is not the time to panic. This is the time for you to plan. Okay, this is not the time to panic. This is the time for you to plan. And I do want you to know that if you need help to pull your passion out of you, if you need help to start your own business, if you need help to save money, if you need to find out what you can do 30 days from now to bring you income that you can set aside and put in a savings, I need you to inbox me. I need you to put a yes. Actually, I want you to put a yes right there in the comments. Put a yes. If you need help to start something that you can do, maybe online business, maybe starting your own coaching business online, maybe writing a book or whatever you want to do in the next 4 days, this is the time for you to say yes. I want you to click yes there or inbox me, and we will help walk you through 30 days from now, help you pull something out of you, help you turn that everyday hobby into an extra income booster that you can channel into. Because some of us, that even though we have income, we don't have enough that we can put towards our savings, but this will boost your income enough that you have enough to put towards savings, like I showed you. So I want you not to panic with this whole quarantine situation. Don't panic this COVID-19 period crisis, whatever they call it. This is the time to plan. Use the lockdown that slowed you down to plan. Use this time to do critical thinking about how to proceed. And if you need an accountability partner, I am here, and I know most of the speakers that are here are there to be an accountability partner and a support system for you. If you need somebody to coach you step by step on how to start a business in the next 30 days, I need you to say yes. I need you to inbox me. And I really do want you to implement this and know that you really have something that you can really turn into a business, an income booster for you. Nothing should be holding you back from getting your business up and running. So don't wait any longer, okay? Boost your income. Go from quarantine to CEO and build a legacy. Happy Mother's Day to you all. And thank you for joining us for the past 6 days. It's been amazing. And I'm going to say, go from quarantine to CEO, and you can do it. You can do it. And I hope to see you all. I hope to see you all next time. And look out for me. Visit my website, www.jennk.com, and go to quarantine2ceo.com, and you are going to see information about our speakers, all the speakers that spoke for the past 6 days. You're going to see their information there. And then, of course, if you do need to connect with me to help you get things in place and help you start your own business, and help you if you want to start a business but you're not sure what business to start, I can help you. And I have a way to help you get your business plan in place. And we actually have Donna Zimmerman that can also help with some of those things, help pull that idea from you. It's been a wonderful time, and you can go from quarantine to CEO. Do not panic, okay? This is the time for you to plan and build a legacy. See you next time. Peace.